About 75. Is this fucking thing recording? No, oh, it is too. He's got me. He's got me singing songs. Just leave me sitting here.
Alright everyone, so I posted an Instagram photo a couple of nights ago asking you guys to ask me some questions, and I'm going to run through them now and answer them for you. So,
ask you, ask us.
You guys ask me questions, I'm going to respond, and we're going to have a really good discussion here. So, I actually got a really good response on this photo too. I'm happy with the engagement, and you guys left, what is it, 800 likes and 49 comments. So, pretty decent, pretty decent. I actually honestly haven't really looked at the questions, so we're going to run through them now. Pick out a few that I think are worth answering, and yeah, starting off with, should we read the person's name?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, people love that.
Okay.
Even edit it on screen, bro. You got some serious skills.
Alright. So first question we got from Math. This is the hardest thing.
This is why you don't read the names.
I don't read the names. I'm just going to read the question. What first inspired you to do what you are doing now? So I'd say I've always enjoyed the gym. In school growing up, I was always a skinny kid, so I was the one who got picked on for being skinny. And I typically want to get jacked and going to the gym and building muscle. That was kind of like my outlet to build confidence. So I think it's a pretty common thing for a lot of people out there. Growing up, you know, you get picked on at school, whatever, so you try and do whatever you can to prove everyone wrong. And that was kind of what got me into this. And then in terms of what keeps me inspired, I don't really have, I don't lack motivation to go to the gym because I'm kind of self-motivated. I look at like progress I've made and I see like how I've transformed my physique over the years. So I don't really look up to anyone. Pretty self-motivated. So I guess that's kind of me. How about you, dude?
Shit. You know, just kind of did it, and then here we are.
Here we are. Great story. Next question. So James White asked, what's the go with competing in the future? You've got a hell of a physique, taking your pro card and competing internationally anytime soon. Main focus on online coaching, YouTube, etc. for the future, and leaving competing to the side.
Well, so, first of all, thanks for the compliments, bro.
Yeah, I know. This guy's just
I'm going to compete next year.
Yeah?
No. This question's blatantly for you.
I was getting excited for a sec. Yeah, so competing, I'd love to have competed this year, but unfortunately being a pro athlete, there's no pro shows in Australia. So I'm just holding out till next year, and hopefully there'll be a pro show and we can take from there. But if we do compete, I'm doing it for you guys, documenting the process, and we're going to make it 10 times better this time around. Yeah. So I'm excited for that. I don't compete for the sake of a trophy, and I'm a very competitive person. Like I've got a very competitive nature, but I'm not doing it for the trophy. I'm doing it for you guys and just trying to educate and show people the journey, and that's what motivates me more. Like I feel like you guys are holding me accountable along this whole fitness journey. It's not so much like the end goal is getting first place. So that's kind of how I feel about it. Yeah.
Hopefully they do a show next year, right?
Hopefully they do, man. There's talks about it.
You'll definitely do it if there's a pro show in Oz next year.
100%.
Yeah.
How did you guys meet? Well, I recall us meeting at My Fitness Club. Yeah. I think the first comment I said to you was, "Hey, the day I meet Freezma," or something like that. I finally meet Freezma or something like that.
You said something like that. I remember that. Yeah. It was weird because I saw Jay in the gym and I was like, "Fuck, look at this fucking jacked cunt." I was like, as soon as I saw you, I was like, "Fuck yeah, I'd be keen to do a shoot with you, get in some gym seats," kind of stuff. Yeah. And then because we were both training. You were training hard, so I wasn't gonna go talk to you, and then I was training. But then you came and said that to me, and I was like, "What's up, man?"
Yeah. We kind of both respected each other's physiques, and then I guess we did a few shoots from there. We kind of just clicked and got along, and I guess it wasn't for like a good 6 months though until we really like got to know each other.
Yeah. It was like we teed up a couple of times. Yeah. When around the time we first met, and then there's probably like a big 6 month kind of gap. It was pretty much when I got out of my last relationship.
Yeah, pretty much. That's where like I got to know you a lot better. Yeah. Yeah,
I think I just ran into you at Noodle one time or something, and then I was like, "Oh fuck, like we need to catch up more," and so then we just started catching up.
Yeah. It's like I could never see this guy because he was so like doing other things, and you
had your full-time job as
well.
That's right,
actually, that's true.
That was like a big reason.
Oh man, that's crazy.
So you only had the weekends free, and I think whenever you had them free, it's not like
exactly right. Yeah, that's how.
Probably exhausted, like just wanted to chill and shit.
Yeah, it's amazing how times change, guys.
Fucking weird, eh?
We both live completely different lives.
It's crazy to think about, like we can't take our lives for granted for where we're at. Like.
Yeah, and if I'm honest, I think it's exactly a year ago since I quit my job. So it's crazy to think back. It's been a year now, and life's so much better. So
fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Quit your job, ladies and gentlemen.
Just follow your passion.
I think like, I don't know, if you're doing a full-time job and not enjoying it, you should quit it and at least get a part-time job you don't enjoy.
Oh,
that'll be my advice.
Yeah, 100%.
You
You
need
need to be able to support yourself.
Exactly. Otherwise, you know.
Yeah. The worst thing you can do is like go all in and have no one to support you or no financial income to, you know, live life. So that's very important.
A bit of money though.
Yeah. All right, next question. A lot of competing question here, you guys. Will Freezma ever compete in the Olympia?
Well, will I ever compete in what?
In Olympia.
In Olympia, of course not.
Men's physique?
Of course not. I've got
It's a serious question.
I think I've got too many tattoos now. Like I just
Really? How's that affect?
hand tattoos, bro. They're not gonna fucking give it to me over Bundia.
You reckon?
With these hand tats, bro.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. The tan can do a lot of. I don't know.
Get the tan. Oh yeah, cover it up.
Alright, we're gonna answer this later.
Yeah, I don't think I'd ever compete in. You know what? It's funny though. Like men's physique. Like if I was ever gonna do anything, I guess it would be fitness model and WBFF or men's physique. But
yeah,
for me, I don't know. I don't really. I reckon one day I might randomly get the drive back and like, I've got the drive back to get in shape, but to do a show, that's a different.
It's a different ball game.
Drive that you need, you know.
Yeah, it's funny I remember when I was probably like 3 weeks out from my show, you were saying your specific words were, "You've motivated me to compete, and I'm doing WBFF next year."
I remember
that means that you should have been competing this year. So.
I should have done it, but I didn't.
You didn't. What happened?
What happened?
Maybe is it all it's going to take is me to compete again and get in shape, and
maybe
that
Jay,
motivate you?
Maybe I need your motivation. So,
alright.
I think, and the thing was, it was annoying because I was so motivated. The reason I couldn't train and shit was because I just got my gyno surgery.
Yeah, true.
Around when you were competing, so I couldn't even like. I was like motivated, but I couldn't train. Like I was like,
yeah,
I'm gonna aim for next year. But then I don't know.
I think it's just the fact that you need to make a recovery that there was. Yeah.
It kind of fucked me up a bit.
Yeah,
By the time I was recovered, I kind of like lost a bit that competing motivation.
Yeah. But I have faith in you, bro. So
he's got faith. So it's good.
Was I ever into strength-based training? If so. Yeah, no, I honestly never been into strength-based training, but it's something I want to maybe give a go. Powerlifting is something that I've never attempted. You ever tried powerlifting before? Like 1 rep maxes on.
I used to do a lot of that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. How'd you like it?
I enjoyed it a lot. It was really fun. Like it was really fun for sure.
Yeah. I think the fact that it keeps you like motivated in terms of going in the gym and always having something to work towards.
Different goal to work towards.
Yeah, which I think is really great.
Once your physique's at a certain kind of place, you're like,
yeah,
it can get a bit boring unless you change your workouts. But
I'll be honest, like over the years since building muscle and everything, like it gets easier and easier to not worry about specifics in terms of training. Like you need to be more specific, like in the early days.
Yeah.
But I find that as you build your physique, you're less worried about what's the correct way to try, like what's gonna build muscle. Like obviously progressive overload, sticking to the basics, but getting super specific, it's not really important anymore.
I feel it's like you can almost go into the gym without a training program.
Pretty much, man. Yeah. Like even for me at the moment, I'm not super pedantic about periodizing my training and having a structured program because it gets easier and easier as you build the muscle.
Yeah.
And
so true. Yeah. So true.
And I'm pretty content with the size I have right now, so I'm not overly concerned about building heaps of muscle. So
yeah. What was that question again? About the strength thing. I was gonna say, that Gym C's photo shoot and the video shoot.
Oh yeah.
I want Jay to get strong for it. So maybe we should start doing some strength
Actually, you know what? Yeah, you were saying that we want to keep it like a really raw kind of edit.
We need this beast doing some NFL combine fucking bench 100 kg.
Yeah.
How many reps do you reckon you could do on 100 kg? You could smash out a few reps.
I reckon on flat bench.
Yeah.
It's interesting because I never flat bench.
Well, you better start, bro. We got this video shoot in a month.
But I could happily, I can bench more on incline than I can on flat.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's interesting.
So, like, I mean, 100 kilos on, I'd probably comfortably do 6.
Yeah. We need to get that up to 12, bro.
Yeah, we need to double that.
That's your training for next month.
Yeah.
Bench press every day.
That's it. What would be the most productive way of getting your name out there and being seen in the fitness world, Jay? If I'm honest, I'm someone who's only just started out, so it's been a year for me since I really started. I started pushing it last October for my competition, so hasn't been quite a year yet, but I've made pretty good progress, pretty solid progress. And the advice I can give to anyone out there that wants to do the same thing would be simply the fact that you need to be yourself. So the thing I was concerned about when I first started was I had to emulate other people because that's what I thought was going to make me successful. But as soon as I started doing that, you become less authentic. People can see straight through it. And honestly, when I started being myself, that is what changed the game for me when I started growing my following. Obviously it helps when I can piggyback off Freezma a little bit. You know, you've helped me a lot, I'll be honest, with my following, and people have got to know me through you in association, but credit through association is always going to help. But aside from that, being yourself and just being genuine and humble, and just trying to offer as much value to people as you can, because you can post an Instagram photo and people can go and like it, but if you're not providing any value, then you're not going to have a really, like, I guess, engaged audience, and you've got nothing to offer. So what's the point?
Find that.
You got to find your niche and what you can offer to people. Because
so if you're extremely good looking, get on Instagram, fucking get your face out there, have good looking images, like do that shit. If you're really knowledgeable, put your knowledge out there. Like
even like write blogs on Instagram. It's starting to become a bit trendy at the moment. People are like writing really long blogs, but not a super interesting photo. I know people that have gone for the really aesthetic photo and then small captions, and they've experimented with that, but then their audience, they didn't get the audience they were after, so they switched it up, posted a less aesthetic photo but a long captivating caption, and that is what has generated more business for them. So it's interesting how people have
it's funny, like the likes don't always mean how much money you're getting.
Exactly. Because people can easily scroll and just like a photo.
How engaged your following is. Like.
But you want engagement is king, like means the most. And you can see that straight away in the comment section and on a post.
My advice to anyone out there would be get into YouTube. I think
100% YouTube as well.
It's still people like, it's almost like people are giving up before they've tried because they're comparing to who's already massive. But it's like still, it's a new market, especially here in Australia and New Zealand. Like you know, me and Jay, but there's probably only like 6, if that, YouTubers, like fitnessy kind of lifestyle YouTubers in Australia.
There's a lot of people that have started attempting YouTube this year especially, but YouTube is something that people will lose faith because it is a lot more difficult and it's going to require a lot more work, but in my experience it all pays off and it's a lot more rewarding. Like I get so much more enjoyment posting a video than I do posting an Instagram photo.
I've given up on Instagram, man. Have you seen how shit my Instagram's been lately? I'm just like, fuck this shit. I need to get better though.
Oh, I mean, it's great to utilize all platforms, but I mean, it's hard because even Snapchat, I think, is dying off a lot lately, and Instagram stories are becoming popular. So Instagram's becoming a lot
Instagram's a lot better because now they've got the story. You can see the personality behind someone that you're following, like instead of the photo. Cause
no, I really enjoy Instagram, but I enjoy YouTube. So if I was to pick one though, YouTube for sure.
And then use your Instagram to grow your YouTube as well. Drive that traffic to your YouTube channel. Like Like if I was starting off, I was trying to really get my name out there and I didn't have much, like I'd be using Instagram to draw traffic to my
100%. Channel. And you notice that big Instagrammers that have started YouTube channels grow, I mean, most of their following does transfer over. So they can grow quite quickly doing that, as you've probably seen. But utilize all platforms and don't be afraid to get out of your comfort zone and start vlogging, because
put yourself out there.
Exactly.
Even if you feel a bit vulnerable, you'll learn a lot about yourself. Like Jay, you'd say you've learned a lot about yourself.
Oh, 100%. I've become a lot more confident just in speaking in general. Like, I feel like public speaking is something that's always been something I've been afraid of. So getting a comfort zone is always going to help push the boundaries, and you're going to learn a lot as a person.
And the great thing is when you're doing it, you can you can film for yourself personally. It doesn't have to be for others. You can actually learn a lot about yourself. Even if you're doing a vlog and you don't post it anywhere, you're still practicing and you're learning like your mannerisms. You learn kind of how you vibe with other people if you vlog with other people, and you can see what you're exactly like in real life. It's invaluable.
Oh, it's crazy. Like I never knew I'd talk like this in public. So I've learned that looking over footage, I'm like, okay, I need to speak up a bit, or I need to speak more clearly and not mumble. Just little things like that. So yeah, it's crazy. But anyway, moving on.
I feel like that was a deep answer.
Yeah. Actually, this is a great question for you to answer this one here.
Corey, Ben and Brock. I'm looking at moving over to Aussie next year from NZ. I actually just live outside Tuakau and Pukekohe. Freezma, what's the living cost like over there compared to home? Rent, food, petrol, etc. If you're living out those ways, you know what, honestly, I'd say it's actually... I remember I left Pukekohe, I was living in Pukekohe, and I left there because me and my girlfriend at the time, it was like, we wanted to move out of the office that I was living in. So we're going to move into a place. But the fucking same, it was cheaper here on Gold Coast to come here than get a house in Pukekohe, like a 2-bedroom or 3-bedroom house in Pukekohe. I was like, really shocked at the real estate pricing. And from what I've seen in New Zealand, it's been climbing, you know, even higher since that was, you know, that was 2.5 years ago that I left. So here, compared to, you know, if you're going to be making comparisons, oh, it's so much cheaper over here. I'm just trying to think, if you want to move into surfers and get a cheapish, or like a, not like a really modern, but like kind of like a 2-bedroom flat, you're looking at about 380 bucks a week, which is, I think that's what Vitruvian was paying for their place, which is, you know, it's pretty good. It depends, if you want something more modern, you're probably looking at, you know, closer to 450 to 500 a week. But I mean, you compare that to New Zealand pricing, especially going in close to Auckland, like it's insane the way you can live over here. Petrol is so cheap over here, guys. Jay, you probably take all this shit for granted because you've just
I don't know. Yeah, that's the thing.
It's crazy. When I first moved here, petrol was $1 a litre. It was pretty much $1 a litre, and I'd come from $2.30 a litre in New Zealand.
No way.
It was fucking ridiculous.
Because you can get premium here for 140. Yeah.
So now, like, if we stand the petrol, you're looking, you know, I think when I fill up Jim's car, my car, it's like we're paying $1.25 a litre. And I think back home in New Zealand right now, it's about $1.70, $1.80. And then food costs, I think, oh man, you're getting chicken breast for like $6 a kg here sometimes. It's ridiculous. It's so much cheaper. Fucking come here, bro. Like,
honestly.
The amount of people who have messaged me who have moved to Gold Coast from seeing my vlogs, from seeing me put this place out here, it's unreal. So shout out to all you guys who have been moving over here. And the worst thing that happens is like, what, you're 3 hours flight from home. You can always go back home. Like, it's not a big deal. You know, don't be afraid to fail. Like, come try it. At least come visit on holiday and like get a vibe for it. Yeah.
Good answer there, Freezy. There's a lot of, there's a few questions here asking about Gym Stees, and people are still interested to see what role I have, and I'm not involved with Gym Stees at all. I am just purely here supporting the big man himself. So, you know, he's got some big aspirations for the company, and you've got some new, you know, product line in the works. So
yeah, we got some cool stuff in the works, guys. So like with Gym Stees, I'm really trying to, I want to build like a real good community. Like, you know, me and Jay, you know, we're boys kind of thing, but like want to bring, I think slowly bring more people into that. Really kind of have that, I don't know, I find it exciting. You know, we did the Arnold, it's just like, it's good for everyone. Like, it helps Gym Stees grow, obviously it's helping you grow in turn. We're having a good time, we're getting good content. Like, it's,
it's mutually beneficial, and it's just creating that community. And we've got such a strong base here on the Gold Coast. Like, we walk around, and even in Pack Fair, like, it's not uncommon to see people wearing Gym Stees. So we've definitely grown here a lot, and it's just like, I guess, with the brand itself, you get such a personal connection with Freezma on his channel. You know, there's no other brand out there that you see the owner of the brand showing their day-to-day life.
Probably Athlete, but
Athlete. But I'm talking like in Australia.
Australian brands,
in Australia. So like, you know, you don't see that. So I think there's so much value in that, and people can just connect with you. And,
the guys, the rest of this year, the next campaign we're dropping is gonna be super fucking epic. I'm so excited to do it with this guy. Like, it's gonna be fucking sick.
All right, another question. Hey guys, you guys are champions. How many days a week do you train, and what do you do on rest days? I personally train 6 days a week, and I struggle to have days off because I enjoy it so much. But on rest days, I like to just have a complete rest day. So whether that's getting out of the house, going, doing a bit of morning cardio, but aside from that, I try to stay away from weights because I do feel that a lot of the time I can overtrain, and it does affect my training for the week ahead, and I can't smash it as hard. So if anything, you want to make sure you do rest so you can get the most intensity in your next sessions for the week ahead, really. But it's hard. Do you enjoy taking days off, or?
It's weird. I go through stages. Sometimes I'm like 6 days a week, and it's hard to take a day off. Other days it's like fucking resting like 4 days a week.
Like for me personally, I can't not go to the gym. I feel terrible, and I know some people out there are the same. But then if you lose motivation and you get really caught up in business, sometimes it's out of your hands. You just need to things take priority. So
I mean, you're in a good spot because it's almost like your business is directly associated and correlated with your training. So and that used to be the same for me. So I think now that I'm doing like the clothing and shit, like
I'd probably be similar. If I had another business that took my energy and was really affecting my training, then I'd have to leave the gym as a second priority and just focus on other things.
Comes down to priorities, guys.
That's it. Any chance of Gym Stees meet up and pump session with the boys? I don't know. potentially, I mean, I've had a lot of questions, people DM me saying they come to the Gold Coast, they want to meet me at the gym, they want to train. And you know what, I'm someone that's always open for those opportunities, but it's just really hard because I do have a pretty busy, you know, day-to-day life, and well, it's hard remembering and scheduling all these things. So honestly, you guys watching, I'm at EMF at the gym there pretty much every day, so you're very likely to run into me if you are there anyway. So honestly, just pop in there mornings or nights and you're bound to see me, I guarantee it.
Just say what up, yeah. It's hard trying to schedule training sessions with people because it's like, you just get so many messages and it's just like...
It's overwhelming sometimes.
It's kind of overwhelming. It's like you got your own day to schedule, it's different day to day. You don't know when, you don't want to be on someone else's time, especially if you don't know them. Like,
it's
so
hard. Like I wanted to be able to do it, but it's just you got to be able to.
But if anyone ever sees us, like fucking come say what up. We're never gonna be snobs and like like we're always like really. Honestly, I love meeting people. Yeah,
don't feel like you're interrupting my workout or something. Come say hello.
Yeah.
I'm not that guy that's like really in the zone, like needs to keep to myself. I'm more than happy because you guys are what motivates me. So if you guys come out to me, you know, appreciating my shit, then I'm gonna you know be happy to meet you. So.
We're gonna wrap this up, Jay. I gotta go pick Jam up from work, bro.
Alright, let's pick one last question. You know what? Do you want to pick the last question?
Oh, this is a good one. Luke Poggy, Freezma and Jay. When living together, did anyone hit boiling point with each other? I don't think we actually did.
Honestly, no. Like,
there's one. I remember one time we had a conflict, and this was like when I very first moved in, and you had just started your channel.
Oh yeah.
And I think you used the song that I wanted to use.
Oh yeah, that was right.
That was like that's like the one time I can think of, and I was like,
I think it was really hungry, and you know when you get hungry sometimes. You just
I was just like, fuck, he's using this. I want to use that song, and you're like, it doesn't matter, bro. And I was like, I was kind of pissed, but then I looked back the next day and I was like, it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah,
like, I think that was like one time, like.
Yeah. That song was obviously important to you.
I was because I was like, when I found it, I was like, this is such a gem. I'm gonna put it on my channel.
And songs are pretty hard to find, I'll be honest.
Yeah. It's like the one time I can think of, but I think apart from that, like, it's pretty insane for how long we lived together for us to. We never had. Like,
I think what helped was we kept to ourselves throughout the day. Like you had things you were doing, I had things I was doing. If you're constantly in each other's faces, you're gonna have some sort of like conflict going on, but. No, things are good. So we're good. Anyways,
that was a good Q&A.
I thought, I think we might even just wrap it up here because we're looking at like it's probably 20 minutes long, so
yeah,
we'll have to cut this up. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the Q&A, and I appreciate all your questions. So your boy Freezy has to run now, but again, if you guys have any other questions, DM me. I'm more than happy to try and reply to you guys. And so thanks for watching.
We out here.